Ever film in an amazing place, then get home and it still looks really average? And that's usually not your drone, it's where you place the subject. I've been doing pro photos for 30 years and drone work for 10, and these are the 7 framing moves that fix boring footage really fast. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly where to put your subject using my real clips with guides drawn on the screen. The last tip is the one I still hunt for every time I fly. It's harder to spot, but it's the one that creates the most perfect footage. Now let's get into the first composition technique, the rule of thirds. When you're beginning and you're trying to figure out where to place your subject with the drone, you'll probably put it right in the middle of the frame. And honestly, sometimes that is the right choice, like if you're doing an orbit shot, for instance. But a lot of the time, there's a better way to get a nicely framed shot that feels more pleasing to the eye, and that's the rule of thirds. The rule of thirds is where you break your screen up into a 3x3 grid, kind of like a tic-tac-toe board, and the goal is to place your subject on one of the lines, or even better, on one of the intersecting points. So for example, look at this shot of the bridge with the man walking across it. Once you've framed the shot, don't alter it too much. Make one smooth move and try to keep your subject in the same spot. And even though I'm doing an orbit here, the framing stays consistent through the shot. The bottom of the bridge is sitting along the lower horizontal line of the grid, and the canal lines up close to one of the vertical lines. And if you're new to drones, I've put together a free drone starter kit. It'll help you get better results without guessing your settings or what to practice. It's linked in the description for you. All right, now if your shots still feel a bit flat, this next one adds instant energy. Sometimes when you're framing a shot, you'll line everything up and it still just doesn't look that interesting, or you can't find a subject that really catches the eye. I've had this problem a lot, especially when I fly too high, because everything starts to look a little bit muddy and the shot lacks any depth. One of the easiest fixes is to look for diagonal lines. Diagonal lines add energy and motion to a frame, and they naturally guide the viewer's eye, because our eyes tend to follow a diagonal path across the image. So take a look at this pier or jetty shot. I've actually got 3 sets of diagonal lines happening here, and most of the time one diagonal line is enough, but I want you to see what's actually possible. First, I've got the pier running from lower left up to the upper right. Then I've got the bridge coming from the lower right up towards the upper left. And I've also got the canal cutting in from the lower left as another diagonal line that helps pull your eyes through the frame. And the movement for this shot is really simple too. I'm just slowly flying forward, and the diagonals do most of the work. And honestly, this composition could work really well as a static shot as well, especially if there's movement in the scene, like people walking along the bridge or waves lapping on the shore. This will also work great as a photograph. Okay, so diagonals give you movement. Now let's take that one step further and start looking for a shape you can build your whole frame around. As a beginner, it can be very hard to spot patterns and lines in a landscape at first. But once you start training yourself to look for them, you'll honestly start seeing them everywhere when you're flying your drone. And this next shot is kind of an add-on to the diagonal lines idea, because it's still about finding patterns. But this time you're looking for a triangle or a pyramid shape. Triangle shapes create a strong sense of balance in a frame because your eye naturally understands the structure. You've got 2 points supporting one main point. Now, normally a classic pyramid composition is framed with the main subject at the top of the pyramid, and then the other 2 lower corners are filled by other subjects to complete the shape. You see this a lot in corporate photos of people. With drones, that exact setup can be harder to find unless you're literally framing someone standing on the peak of a mountain. So instead, I use the landscape as the focus, but I look for a triangle made out of the landscape itself, like this ocean shot. Let me show you by drawing it out. The top point of the triangle is the mountain in the background. As the drone passes over the rocks, the frame creates the 2 lower points, the ocean on the right and the landmass on the left. And together those edges form a clean pyramid triangle shape that makes the shot feel balanced. And one more thing, you don't always have to start with the triangle perfectly framed. You can start wide or a little bit messy and then move into the composition as you fly, like I did with that shot. Triangles give balance, but if you want a composition that gives you structure fast, especially over water, this next one is perfect. As a beginner, it's really common to struggle to frame things naturally, and because of that, your shots can end up feeling like they don't have any structure. This next composition is perfect for fixing that, and it's a personal favorite of mine because I use it all the time. It's called an L-shape composition. And the idea of this is very simple. You're looking for shots where 2 elements in the frame create an L shape. It doesn't have to be a perfect L, and it can be flipped or backwards as well. So in the shot where I'm flying over water, you can see it very clearly. The jetty on the left is one part of the L, the land at the top is the other part. Together they create that strong angle shape that gives the frame instant structure. And sometimes just having the L shape is enough, But if you can also place an object near the corner of the L, right around that bend, it makes the shot even stronger because that's where your eye naturally wants to land. This is the kind of shot that gets me excited because I love filming over water, and piers give you these shapes all the time, especially in top-down shots. Like in this one, you've got a boat tucked into the base of the L, and as I fly forward, you even get a bird flying into frame, which adds a little bit extra life and movement. And before you say, wait, Brett, that's a T shape, sure, it kind of crosses over, but the point is you're using strong, almost right angles to give the viewer an obvious path through the shot. And L shapes are way easier to find consistently in nature than perfect Ts. All right, we've done strong angles. Now let's switch to something smoother that feels a lot more cinematic. Sometimes when you're new to drone filming, your videos or photos can look fine, but they're missing that extra piece that makes them stand out a little bit more. That's why I always look for S-curves when I'm filming. S-curves create that sense of elegance and visual rhythm that naturally pulls the viewer's eye through the frame. You see this all the time in fine art and photography, but there's no reason you can't use them in drone work as well. Like in this shot here, I'm slowly flying forward and the road forms a gentle S-curve as the car drives along it. It's really appealing because your eye naturally follows that curve from one end to the other. And the best part is that S-curves are actually easier to find with the drone because you have the luxury of being up high and seeing the landscape in a way you can't see from the ground. And of course, these don't have to be a perfect S. It can be subtle, and it can even be flipped the other way around. Like in this orbit shot of this coastline, it's not a perfect S, but that wavy pattern gives you a unique, more dynamic composition. S-curves are great when the landscape gives you a natural curve, but when the scene feels a little bit empty, the next trick helps you create a clear path to your subject. As a beginner, it can be hard to know what to focus on because sometimes from up high, the landscape just doesn't have anything that really grabs your eye. And when that happens, I'll usually stop trying to force that super high wide shot, and instead I'll drop lower and look for leading lines. And leading lines are similar to S-curves in the sense that they pull your eye through the frame. The difference is they usually feel more direct, like they're guiding you towards something. So look for things like fences, piers, roads, rivers, boardwalks, or even train tracks. A lot of the time, the leading line will take you straight to your subject. Like in this shot over a salt lake, the old fence is a leading line, and it leads you right to the people, which is me and my mate Shane. Other times, the line is the shot. Like this pier clip, I start low and pull back, and as the scene reveals more and more, your eye still stays locked onto the pier because those strong lines create structure and direction in the frame. All right, this is the one I mentioned earlier, and it's a shot that I'm always hunting for, always. Once you've got the previous framing tips down, you might want to try something a little bit more advanced. And even if you never find this shot, the first 6 composition tips I gave you will fix 90% of your shots. And I'll be honest here, I still struggle to find golden spiral shots when I'm flying. But when you do get one, it looks incredible. The golden spiral is an advanced framing method based on natural patterns we see everywhere, even if we don't always notice them. You can spot it in the curl of a wave, the spiral of a snail shell, the rings of a tree, and we even build structures in a spiral like this spiral staircase. And the reason this works so well is simple because our brains recognize this spiral as a balanced shot, so a shot that follows it just feels right. The basic idea is to frame the scene so the viewer's eye follows a curve that gets tighter and tighter and lands on your subject near the end of the spiral. For example, this is a sinkhole I filmed in South Australia. I'm starting top down, then I pull up while rotating to reveal more of the rim, and the spiral becomes clearer. And the spiral becomes clearer as the frame opens up. I'll sketch the spiral on screen so you can see it start wide, wrap around, and pull your eye right down into the center. Now, composition is what makes the frame work. Parallax is what gives it depth. So watch this next video and I'll show you how to create cinematic drone footage on your first flight with a simple parallax shot.